Hello YouTube, LJ Draco here. Yes, sorry, this is a long-awaited review. I've meant to do this review weeks ago, but every time I recorded the video, it just get deleted. To the point where I ended up forgetting the majority of the story and just didn't really feel like I could give an honest opinion unless I rewatched it. So I decided to rewatch it. This is a review on a movie called After the Wedding. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole cast. Because I don't want to offend people by butchering names. So I'm just going to name the one main actor that I know who's in it, which is Mads Mikkelsen playing Jacob. And there's another guy who plays a guy called Jorgen, or Jorg, throughout the whole... so let's just get into the story, actually, because I want to just talk about the story a little bit. So this guy, Jacob, was in India, and he was helping these kids learn how to read and write and speak, and just giving them lessons and just giving them out food, trying to keep them all alive. And so they're all in this orphanage, and they find that their orphanage is going to get closed down, so they're looking for people with money. And they come across this guy in Denmark called Jorg, or Jorgen. So before anyone tries to correct me in the comments, okay, I'm just going to warn anybody now. If anyone wants to correct me because I'm not saying his name properly, please don't, because I know I can't say the names properly, and I'm admitting this now. Okay, so if I see any correctual comments, I'm just going to end up either deleting the video or not bother, because I don't mind criticism, but when I'm admitting I know I can't do it, and then someone just says it anyway, it's like, you know, just, yeah. But anyway, let's just get back into it. So yeah, so this guy comes along and says, that unless this guy goes to Denmark, he refuses to give him any kind of money until he gets to meet the guy face to face and see what he's like. So Jacob goes all the way to Denmark and meets this guy, and it turns out that the only reason he wanted to come face to face is because he was really interested in what Jacob was doing, and he wanted to try and work things out from the side of Denmark. Plus, this guy was also a dad. He was also a dad, and he was a family man, but he was also a businessman, so all of his stuff had to be done in Denmark. When Jacob arrives, he meets Jorgen's Jorgen's son-in-law, because his son-in-law picks him up and drives him to the building. And then Jacob shows the tape of what the living conditions are like and the way they all are down there and the reasons as to why they need the money. And he says that he'll take it into consideration because he's got quite a few different offers, but he will consider it as an option, as one of the investments he wants to make, and he'll make it an annual thing of $4 million a year to help fund the orphanage. And then says, "Oh, by the way, there's a wedding tomorrow. My daughters, come along." So he goes along to the wedding, and his daughter, Jorgen's daughter, has been married now, and her husband's giving a little toast and a speech. And then his wife turns up, which is Jorgen's daughter, and starts saying how when she was 18, a few years before this wedding, how Jorgen had such a horrible time trying to explain to her that he wasn't her biological father. And as it turns out, Jacob had a previous relationship with Jorgen's wife, Helena. And it kind of adds up that she's actually Jacob's daughter. I'm not going to tell any more, because this movie, I'll tell you why I'm not going to tell any more after this bit, but that's what I'm giving you about the story. I'm sorry if it sounds really dull, but it's just the review itself of what the movie's about isn't why I do these reviews. It's what my opinion is of these stories and stuff like that, which is why I enjoy doing these reviews. So, that's just a little recap of what the story is. So let's get into why I'm doing the review anyway. I'm not a big person of foreign films. I don't like movies I have to, like, it's going to sound really stupid, I don't like movies I have to read in order to watch. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, I watched a Spanish film called The Orphanage. I have watched Pan's Labyrinth, and I do kind of regret watching that one, but it's not, yeah, that's a long story. But I'm not much of a fan of the ones that you have to read. But this movie, I reckon if it was just fully in English, it wouldn't have felt so emotional. You wouldn't have felt the emotion in everybody. I think it was the fact that even though they were speaking, I think it's Danish they were talking. Even though they were speaking Danish, you could hear everything. You know, you could, like, you could hear the passion, even though you couldn't hear what they were saying. But when you're reading it and you can hear the tone of voice, you could just feel the emotions they were feeling, and you were. Because I was watching it to begin with, and I was like, oh, this really doesn't look like something that I might be able to get into. I like Mads Mikkelsen. I think he's amazing. Probably his best performance. This is actually probably his best performance that I've seen him in. Well, I've seen him in like 3 or 4 things, and this is by far his best performance. But yeah, every time any character spoke, especially the guy who played Jorgen, fuck me, he is a brilliant actor. So just to talk about what I feel upon these movies, and like, I'm gonna rate the movie first, and then I'll explain why actually, because this I don't ever give movies the highest rating unless they have a rewatchability factor. Now I'll explain why that is as well. If I don't think I can watch a movie more than at least once a week, it doesn't reach the A slot, because I can't, because in order for it to be a great movie in my eyes, it's one that I know that I'll want to watch a lot. Now, I know most people don't like watching like the movies they like a lot because they might get bored of them and stuff. And I agree, sometimes it can happen. But me, I don't get bored of my favourite movies. I can watch my favourite movies over and over and over again without even getting bored once. But due to the amount of emotion and passion and the acting between all of the characters in this movie, even the non-so-important characters, like Jacobs and Jacobs and Helena's daughter Anna, her husband. You know, he's not an important character, but yet you still believe he's acting. You believe everybody's acting. It's brilliant. Oh, it's a fantastic movie. So because of how much it shocked me, and just how much, I mean, it made me cry. I did actually cry. I'm not going to deny that. I was in tears. This movie gets an A+. Because it was just such a beautiful and fantastic movie. And I'm glad I did watch it. So, yeah. Now, I was sent the DVD by Omar Little. Unfortunately, for some reason, I could not watch it on the DVD. Yeah, I forgot, like, why. But for some reason, when I put it into my player, it loads this little, this little trailer thing with a can opening. And then the whole disc just stays black after that. I don't know why. I've tried it in all my players, and I know the disc's in good condition. The disc's not scratched, so I have no idea. So I had to try and find a way to watch it online. But I actually managed to find a HD version of the movie, which I didn't think existed, but it's actually a HD version of the movie. So I watched it, and it looked great. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed the movie. But I wouldn't have known about this movie still if it wasn't for Omar Little. He no longer has a channel, which sucks beyond belief. But he still comments and joins the live streams and still gets involved on my channel. So he still deserves the credit for it. So thank you for introducing me to this movie. So yeah, so that was my review on After the Wedding. I'm sorry if it dragged on. I'm sorry if it wasn't exactly like the most amazing review I've ever done. But it is currently like 4 a.m. in the morning. That's why it's AM. I'm knackered. I've literally been up watching this movie and sorting out some other bits and pieces. And yeah. Wow. Not the kind of movie I thought I'd be watching tonight, but I did, and it was worth it. I'm glad I stayed awake for it, and I'm glad that I managed to watch it. So anyway, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video and previous videos, don't forget to strike the like for future videos. And if you're new to this channel and only seen a couple of my videos, show your support. Click that subscribe button. I'd surely appreciate it. Anyway, take care, you wonderful people, and I'll see you next time.